Hello, and a special welcome to our first ever virtual pen meeting. Tonight I'm joined by Stephanie Musgrave.
Evening, everyone.
Stephanie, as you all know, is the head of our primary school. And tonight I want to extend a special welcome to all our new families. I'm conscious of the fact that these pen meetings are new to, or maybe new to you, and I want you to sit back and just enjoy the conversation, and it is a conversation for this evening. Off camera, I want to acknowledge the efforts of Jelena Monteiro, who you can't see, she's off behind the camera, and Tanya Castellino, who I'm sure you all know very well from last year. Now, PEN. PEN is an acronym for Parent Education Network. And we decided to have this form of parent representation at the college about 3 years ago. We didn't want a PNF because we felt that a PNF was dated, and being a school that focuses on contemporary learning, we thought we'd have a more contemporary format of parent representation. And so we decided on a parent education network. Now, the PEN meets twice a term, and the first of those termly meetings are held in this format. I will present a principal's report, and Stephanie will present what's happening in the primary school, and then we open the floor up to a Q&A session with the parents. So get your questions ready, and when I allow you to, we'll be able to hopefully answer all your questions. Right, so let's get on to, oh, by the way, when it comes to asking questions, if you could use the comments section on the Facebook Live, you can type in the questions there, and then we will read them out and endeavour to answer them. Okay, so on to my parent report.
Can I quickly just say I've got a few of my infants' parents saying hello on behalf of their children, and I know they get cranky at me if I'm on Facebook but don't recognise and say hello to them, because I obviously can't see you on the other side of this camera.
So who are we saying hello to?
So Luke wants to say hello. So
hi
Luke, it's great to see you. Hi Terry, and hi to all of our parents and all the kindergarten and Year 1 boys and girls, especially from me.
Beautiful, that's wonderful, isn't it? Okay, on to my principal's report. As you all know, enrollments is what sustains every school. I often say enrollments are the lifeblood of any school. And I just want to give you an update on our current enrollments and our future enrollments for 2021. So currently in the primary school we have 59 students all up. That's 32 in kindy and 37 in Year 1. In the secondary we have 182, 86 Year 7s, 65 Year 8s and 31 Year 9s. Overall that gives us a combined enrollment of 241. That's 2020 currently. Now next year we increase that by over 100%. Over 100%. In the primary, our enrollments would go from 59 to 137, and that means that we'll have 63 kindergarten students, which will have 2 classes of kindergarten students, and Year 1 we have 37 Year 1s, and that's the current kindies going into Year 1 next year, and we'll have 2 Year 1 classes as well, and then in Year 2, our first ever Year 2s. Can you believe that, Luke? And
I know.
and all the others.
Luke and Sachi and Kiana and Flynn.
Can you believe that they will be in Year 2 next year?
I know, it's gone so fast.
And so we'll have 37 Year 2 students with 2 classes, 2 teachers.
Oh, it sounds like lots of new friends are coming to join us.
Absolutely.
How exciting.
And every day it's growing.
Absolutely.
In the secondary, we'll have 317 students all up, 128 Year 7s. That's our largest ever intake of Year 7s. Do you remember the days when we started with 23, we started the school with 23 Year 7s back in 2018.
So teeny tiny.
I know. And now we have 128 in our next year's cohort. Year 8 would have 90, and Year 9 would have 66, and Year 10 would have 33. And that would give us a combined enrollment of 454 students. Now, I know that mightn't seem a lot to you, but for those parents who have been with us from the onset, when we started with 23 students, we've come a long way. And my projections are that in 2022, we will grow to over 1,000 in 2022. Those are the projections.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting. So that's the enrollment update. Now, of course, with all these new students, you need new teachers. And I've been flat out. Honestly, I've been coming home and I've been in bed at 8:30 each night. That's how exhausted I am. Because I've employed 11 new teachers. And I've got 2 more to go. So 11 new teachers. Steph, can you believe that?
Oh, I can't wait for them all to start and to work with them.
So next week, I'm hoping to secure the last 2, and we'll have 13 new teachers starting with us, and they'll start in term 4. And the reason why they'll start in term 4 is because we have designed an onboarding course, which is like an induction course that runs for 10 weeks. So we want our teachers on the first day of the new year to be ready to go, familiar with the school culture, familiar with our pedagogy, up and ready to start teaching on that first day. So that's fantastic. A building update. I know that many of you would want to know this. The building is going according to plan. We're bang on schedule. And I have a date for you. The practical completion date will be the 20th of August 2021. Right now, that doesn't mean that we move into the school on that day, because what follows the practical completion is the handing over and commissioning of furniture, fixtures and fittings. And that will take a few weeks to achieve. Installation of photocopiers, installation of TVs, installation of Wi-Fi and IT needs. So we're hopeful that we would be in our new premises in term 4 of 2021. Christmas next year will be in our new building. How about that?
What a great gift. We can't wait for that slide.
Absolutely. Okay, so at this stage I want to hand over to Steph and just give Steph an opportunity just to say a few words, and then I might come back on and can you continue the conversation. So over to you, Steph.
So we've had some very exciting times in the primary school. Obviously now we have kindergarten and year 1 working alongside each other, and some absolutely exceptional teachers. And I hope everyone at home has been really enjoying the learning that's been happening. We were really, really proud of the way both the students and their parents continued their learning when they were at home, and they have come back just thrilled not only to be back at school and to be sharing their learning, but so upskilled with their digital technologies.
I know.
It's incredible to see their independence, particularly using Seesaw. I know last year we took a lot of time training the kindergarten students, and myself as the teacher did a lot of work uploading. But now all the teachers do is put the iPads down on the floor and the kids are constantly uploading. We can't keep up with them.
It's amazing, parents. I've actually witnessed this. I was in the kindergarten space the other day and I witnessed Aidan taking his iPad. He took a picture of his work sample and he'll upload it to his Seesaw file. Kindergarten.
I know.
It's just amazing.
It's very, very impressive. So their learning has been exceptional, and we're really, really excited to have our new primary teachers come on board in term 4 so that we can plan some amazing teaching and learning for 2021 across all grades for kindergarten, year 1 and year 2.
Yeah.
We want to work on the successes of the last 2 years and then build upon that as well.
Parents, you'll be pleased to know that we've secured 2 very, very, very good year 1 teachers. And I'm hopeful that before the end of term, I will have secured a year 2 teacher as well. So it's all looking well. We've also employed in the primary school a diversity teacher who will assist Stephanie with interventions, with reading recovery and in the ME program.
I can see, Mark, here we've got a few questions along the same field. Good evening and welcome to Michael, Crystal and Kelly. I can see that they're asking, due to the expansion of our enrolments, how are our current sites going to be coping with the numbers and probably where our students are going to be. So can I share with them what's happening in the primary?
Yeah, go for it.
Specifically?
Go for it and I'll talk about the high school.
Okay, so obviously I can't fit another 62 students in our current building. So the building that we are in now, and we just kindergarten last year, will become the kindergarten classroom solely. So we'll have the 63 kindergarten students in our current building with their 2 kindergarten teachers. We are then having another demountable just across the grass area. That's being renovated quite beautifully for us, and that will house our year 1, obviously 2 small classes, year 2, 2 small classes. They will work side by side, being that they're in the same stage and working along the same outcomes. That will work quite seamlessly, and we will have a dedicated office space as well, and an intervention room, so that we can also, as specialist teachers, work alongside what's happening in the classroom to match what's happening in the intervention.
Now, when we talk about 2 small classes in year 1 and year 2, we're talking about 16 in one and 15 in another, right? So I don't think you'll get that anywhere in Parramatta.
No.
Where you have one teacher teaching 15 kids.
No, and you probably won't get that for much longer moving forward at the rate that we are growing very rapidly. Classes obviously haven't been decided yet, just like kindergarten, particularly for those preschool parents who are looking at joining us next year. Classes aren't decided on day 1, particularly in kindergarten. We do take the time, about 3 weeks, to observe the children, to have a look at their strengths and their needs in their learning, and we make an equal split between that. So each class has a diverse range of needs and experiences and strengths. We will also look at that for year 1 and year 2. Obviously the current kindergarten cohort this year are in 2 classes. That could be changed. We do like to mix it up, and we don't necessarily like to keep them in the same class groups. However, as you know, we work in an open learning space. It's quite flexible. So although they will have dedicated classroom teachers, those teachers will be working together and team teaching, and so the students will be together virtually at all times. So, don't worry about your friend not being in their class. They'll be in the classroom with them the entire time.
And they'll have brilliant teachers. I can assure you of that, primary parents. Now, in the high school, we should have access to 3 new demountables that have been fully refurbed next week. I know that they were just put in the awning, the walkway over, and the concrete's been poured on Friday. And from next term, we'll have 3 extra demountables on the far end of the oval for the high school. And that will allow us to accommodate another 90 students, in addition to the space that we have currently. Okay.
I'm just reading through a few questions here. I can see Bella Edwards has just asked some clarification around intervention. When I say intervention, that's the support programs for the vulnerable readers and writers in year 1. So I currently run what's called reading recovery. So the students identified in year 1 who have some weaknesses or some gaps in their reading and writing are offered reading recovery, and then EMU is the Extending Mathematical Understanding program. This runs both at the high school and at the primary. I run it currently in year 1, and Michael Knight runs it in year 7.
And Steph, I might ask a question on behalf of the parents. How do you identify the students that need intervention?
Great question. So as teachers, we do collect a lot of data on our students. For reading, we do what's called the early years assessment, and that allows me to sit one-on-one with a child and listen to their reading, and then we go through word tests, we go through writing their own vocabulary, all the words they can write. We also go through a hearing and recording sounds test, and all of this is just observations for me. For mathematics, we undertake in all grades, particularly in the primary, the mathematics assessment interview, and again, it's an interview that we get to sit one-on-one, and we go through number, place value, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division questions. And from all of that that's done on all students, we collate that data, and whoever is showing vulnerabilities in particular domains will then be offered the intervention programs.
Well done. How are the questions going?
Yeah, we're not quite keeping up. Nikki Harper, good evening, has just asked, when we're at the new site and fully functioning, will the private bus service continue?
Great question, Nikki. I have in my hot little hands here a current, well, I've got 4 current bus routes that will operate by the public system. Okay, so the first route will go from Kellyville Station. Now I might need to put my glasses on to read this. The first route will go from Kellyville Station through Beaumont Hills, through North Kellyville, through Rouse Hill, and onto Box Hill through Boundary Road and into the Gables. That's the first route. The next route will go from Rouse Hill Station through Windsor Road, up along Allen Grove onto Edwards, through the estates, the various estates in the Box Hill area. I'm talking about Highgrove and those other estates, back onto Boundary, and then onto Red Gables Road. The third public bus system that will operate will again start at Rouse Hill Station and go along through Rouse Hill again, and this time it'll go straight along Windsor Road and cover the areas along Boundary Road, and I'm pretty sure it goes into Morelia as well. And then the last one would go from Kings Langley through to Quakers Hill, Stanhope Gardens,
Wow.
the Ponds, back onto Rouse Hill Station, and then to the school.
Wow.
So that's what we have currently. We're continuing to work with Transport New South Wales, because that's not good enough for us. We want the students that live out at Windsor, Pitt Town. I think the first one that did cover Pitt Town, but those students in McGrath's Hill, Windsor, we need buses catering for them as well. So we've got 4 routes confirmed, and we're working on a few others. So the private bus system will cease to operate when we move to the new campus, Nikki, but in its place we'll have a free public bus transport system.
Excellent. George is asking, in terms of continuing our growing enrolments, are parents able to enrol for 2022, or are we still at the expressions of interest stage?
No, George, we have already got 150 applications in hand for 2022. So get onto it, okay? If you want a place at the school, enrolments are filling up quickly.
Very, very fast.
Confirmed enrolments, 150 for year 7, not for year 7, across all stages of the school for 2022.
Rebecca is asking if we're planning any changes with the pickup situation at OLA for our primary students.
Yeah, that's a good question, Rebecca. Look, it's difficult because we are tenants on the site of OLA. What we are planning is we're planning an earlier start in the primary school. So 8, we're shifting the starting time 10 minutes forward, and we'll finish 10 minutes earlier, in the hope that our parents can come in at a time when OLA parents are not around. What time does OLA start, Steph?
They don't start. Next year we'll be starting at 8:10. They don't start until 8:50.
Right.
And they go into classrooms.
So there's a whole 40 minutes difference, and we're hopeful that that would ease the traffic congestion in the area. I know I'm very conscious of the fact that the area is overcrowded, but we've decided hopefully to start 10 minutes earlier and finish 10 minutes earlier, that it would make a difference.
So we'll be finishing at 2:30. We're working very closely with the principal, Tony Calabria, and their OLA community as well, to ensure that all parents and all children are safe, and that we're able to get the children in and out of the school in the best way we can. But we can't control the traffic lights, we can't control the streets, so we're doing the best that we can, and we understand it is tricky. It's a bit of a tunnel, but when we're at full capacity at Box Hill, we'll have 2,000 students that are trying to move in and out of the space. So,
and I want to acknowledge the efforts of Tony Calabria.
He's been
supportive. He's been very supportive.
He's incredible.
Okay, let's keep going with the questions.
There's so many questions. We're not
come on,
keeping up.
We've got to get them through.
Madeline is asking if the boys are going to have opportunities to do hands-on subjects like food tech or wood tech, since the new facilities won't be ready till later next year. Are there any plans to be able to do some practical-based subjects between now and then when the new building opens?
Definitely. So we've just employed a food tech teacher, and she is fantastic. So we'll offer food tech next year, and we've got Mr. McGann is as good as any. We've got the workshops. We've got the laser printer. Is it the laser cutter? Laser cutter,
3D printer.
Yes.
I can't keep up with him, honestly.
So that will suit those kids that prefer the hands-on. So in answer to your question, yes, we will.
I'm just scrolling through. So we've talked about accommodating new pickup time for the primary, that in 2022 all grades up until year 11 will be open. Is that correct?
No, in 2022 we open up the whole school.
So year 12 as well?
No, not year 12, sorry. So we'll go
the
preschool,
sorry, yes.
Preschool, kindergarten through to year 11.
Yes.
We can't open year 12 because you must have done year 11 before you do year 12.
Yes, and our senior students will be our first students through
year
12.
Correct, yeah.
We've spoken about the buses, pickup. There's a few questions on pickup, but we've discussed that. Getting applications in. The website mentions prep. What are the plans for beginning prep, and have we commenced enrolment? Well, we've actually been having some really great meetings with Anthony Goonan, haven't we?
Yeah.
In terms of the preschool?
Yeah. So the preschool would run, even though they'd be part of our school, the funding and the resourcing of the preschool would be run by the Chancery. That's the Bishop's office. Okay? And Anthony Goonan has been fantastic. We are very close to appointing a calc director. And the calc director would be the principal of the preschool, who will report to myself and to Stephanie. And they'll work very closely with our kindergarten students to ease that transition from preschool to kindergarten.
So when Mark says calc, for those who are unfamiliar with that term, it's the Catholic Early Learning Centre, and we aim to make it as seamless as possible, that if you're a calc student and you walk into the kindergarten classroom, that it will be the same type of learning, the same inquiry, the same hands-on play, and the teachers and the students will be working very closely with each other once we move on site. We're really excited to have the director on board.
Yeah, and we'll also have, when you move on to our new site, a before and after school program. It will start at 6 in the morning and finish at 7 p.m. at night.
My screen's looking funny, but Jelena, are we still running? Mine just says the video's been interrupted.
Oh.
Are we still okay?
It says pause. Check with you shortly.
Okay, might be an internet issue. It's connecting again now.
Yep, we're okay.
Okay, we're-
Okay.
all right.
I'm sorry if we paused. I think we're back. I can't keep up with all of these questions.
Yeah, let's keep going.
So we've confirmed private bus will be placed by a general public bus.
Yep.
Can any general public person get on, or will
No.
it just be for school
No,
students?
only for Santa Sophia students.
Okay.
And parents, please apply for that Opal Card. We sent out a communication a few weeks ago. You need the Opal Card because that will allow you to catch the bus.
Right. Okay. So we can see how we go.
Oh, can you see us, Tanya? Mine says it's ended. Oh, the joy of technical problems. I'm not sure if you can still see me. Oh, there are so many questions. Start and finish. Start and finish time of the new site.
Yeah.
Is it completely ended too?
I think so, because their one says ended. My one just says interrupted, but maybe then it ends.
Okay, let me just follow.
They're asking lots of questions, like specifically about
Heaps.
where the bus is. Will this be shared with them at some stage? There's lots of questions about the buses and specific areas. I'm not going to read them all out.
Open area.
And the Kelk, will that be running with the same hours as before and after school care?
The calc?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. Look, I apologise. There's a lot of details that are yet to be confirmed, but we've got a good part of 12 months to confirm that. As soon as we confirm things, you'll be the first to know.
Mm. And we're very aware that moving to a new site will come with challenges. It will come with great joys. We cannot wait to move. We can't wait to be on site all together.
I could move right now, you know.
If we had the space, absolutely. But we're definitely, as a team, all of the teachers working alongside Mark and the architects and the builders and people from CDP to plan for what it's going to look like when we do actually move.
It'll be worth the wait, parents, I can assure you.
Yes, so there'll be a lot of plans put into the actual transition itself. And I know, Mark, you're planning on doing tours and, you know, we'll ease the students into, you know, what it is to learn in a
There'll
new
be
space.
plenty of opportunities. I'm planning to run Saturday tours to cater for parents at work once we get into the new site, because I want you all to see the facilities that we have, and we'll work with you to conduct tours at times that are convenient to you.
We have a few questions about the Opal Card.
Yep.
Is that compulsory for everyone?
Yes, yep. So it's compulsory for everyone. Now I think there's a 2 kilometre range radius. So if you live outside of 2 kilometres from the school, then you're entitled to apply for an Opal Card.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think there were
I
problems.
think it's frozen. People are saying it's frozen. There's no sound.
Oh, there's no sound
I
now.
wonder if we end it and then we can go back on later and answer their questions just by typing replies.
Okay.
That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, the other big question is orientation for Year 7 in kindergarten.
Because they're saying now it's working again.
Okay, is it working again? Yep.
Yeah, someone said it's
Okay.
working now.
So I know there's a lot of questions about the bus routes. We will, in due course, I'm talking maybe before the end of the year, we will publish these. You just need to confirm them with Transport New South Wales. We'll publish them and you'll be the first to know. Okay? I know that is a very big concern of a lot of parents, but those 4 routes that I read out earlier, those are the bus routes that Transport New South Wales have proposed to us. Now, I'm not happy with them entirely because they don't cater for all my students. We want them to cater for every single student.
Now, I'd really love to talk about the preparation of our new students coming on board next year, because I know there's a lot that normally happens in Term 4, and we're looking at different ways of how that can happen in Term 4, depending on the restrictions placed on us, obviously because of COVID and what we're dealing with at the moment. So, in the primary school, obviously we're very much looking forward to having our 63 kindergarten children join us. Obviously they're at very many different preschools at the moment and they're really eager to see what it's like to come into a primary school. And we would absolutely love to have them, but that is all dependent on CEDP and whether we are allowed to have additional visitors in the school or not.
So what happens in the event that we aren't allowed to have an orientation?
Yes. So the teachers have been brainstorming and we've got a great lot of plans to not only send you home some resources, including pamphlets on reading and writing for the parents, some activities for the children, and their very own social story about what it is like to come to school as a Santa Sophia student. That will all be mailed out to you. And then we're really excited, if we can't go ahead with orientation, that we're going to start up Seesaw early. So our preschool students will have to access their Seesaw accounts, which we will walk you through, parents, and they'll be able to get all sorts of videos from the teachers.
Exciting.
We're going to create classroom virtual tours. We're going to video the teachers reading stories to the children. We'll have a day in the life of kindergarten. So we will try to replicate the experience virtually. Obviously, if we can't come together, we know it's different. They won't be meeting their peers, but we'll still give them the opportunity to meet their teachers and to have a tour of the space. All of this will be done on Seesaw in the event that it can't go ahead.
In the high school, in the event of us not being able to meet face to face and in person, we will have a webinar for the students and for the parents as well.
Yeah, we'll also have an information evening online for the parents if we can't go ahead. If we can go ahead with potentially some restrictions, I know our current enrolled preschool students were given 3 dates for orientation. If we can go ahead at reduced numbers, what I'll do is I'll look at the cohort of preschool students coming on to start kindergarten next year. I'll split them equally into 3 groups, and we may only have 20 children at a time coming, and in that event they will just come for 1 day. But again, we're waiting on the recommendations from CDP as to whether we can go ahead. I've got plan A, B and C. I'm more than happy to create a D, E and F, but as soon as we're given the guidelines, we will inform the parents immediately.
How are we going with our questions?
Uniform fittings.
Uniform fittings, okay. So uniform fittings, we've arranged for 2 Friday afternoons and a Saturday morning. I think Saturday until 12 o'clock, I think it is.
Let me have a quick check.
So
we've got the 30th of October, which is a Friday, that's an afternoon, 3:30 till 6:30. The next Friday afternoon, the 6th of November, again 3:30 till 6:30. And we've got one Saturday, that's Saturday the 31st of October, 9 till 4.
Just read out those dates again, Steph.
So we've got October the 30th, Friday afternoon, October the 31st, Saturday.
Until what time Saturday?
4 p.m.
Until 4 p.m, so it's virtually the whole day Saturday.
Virtually the whole day, and then November the 6th, the following Friday afternoon till 6:30.
Okay, so hopefully parents, that would accommodate those parents that work. Even if you do work, maybe you can make the Friday afternoon because it goes until 6, and if you can't, you can obviously the Saturday goes until 4 p.m.
At the moment, I think we have actually answered all of our questions.
Wow.
I know, it took me a while to keep up, but I think we're there, and I think everyone can hear us.
Well,
not sure if you can see us though.
Parents, keep the questions coming. I'm happy to stick around for another 15 minutes or so.
Of course.
Yep.
Plenty of things to chat about.
Okay. Alright, so what can we talk about next?
Well, I know we do have some restrictions in place, but we've got some exciting things coming up. Yep. I know tomorrow we are going to just be celebrating in our classes and ourselves the Feast of Saint Sophia.
It's our feast day tomorrow. The Feast of Santa Sophia, of Saint Sophia.
So we're really, really excited. We're going to have an extended prayer circle for the primary students tomorrow. And we're going to create our own prayer space. I've got some beautiful candles, a banner that the students made last year. I don't know if you remember it.
Yes, I do.
We brought it to our Saint Feast Day last year. And they're going to make some special prayer cards. And we're just going to spend the morning, praying to Saint Sophia.
Yeah, I'm so angry with COVID because we had planned to take the kids to Luna Park this year. So I know that Stephanie was a bit...
Slightly nervous.
But... hopefully, if COVID goes away, we can develop a vaccine, we can take them next year.
I'm a little bit nervous on rides, so if I'm nervous, kindergarten probably have no fear, they'll be fine.
In the high school, we're going to celebrate as well. We've got some activities planned at the end of the day, just to give the students some sort of consolation of what could it be.
I've also got a lot of primary students asking about Book Week.
Okay.
Because all my Year 1 students last year loved getting dressed up. They especially loved you coming and getting dressed up.
Is that right? Well, I'll be dressed up again. So I'm dressing up.
Oh, so do we. The primary teachers take any opportunity, trust me, to dress up. So Book Week was delayed this year by the Australian Book Council, and so that will be happening in week 2 of term 4 this year. So we'll send out some communication to the parents once we've confirmed what we're doing. We'll check with the OLA community what they're doing as well, and we'll be able to have another day of getting dressed up and having some fun activities.
Last year I came as Darth Vader.
Oh, I know. Oh my goodness.
What's the theme this year?
The theme, you know what? I need to Google it. The theme this year...
I need to get my outfit ready.
Oh, I can't remember. I'll have to check and get back to you.
Right, okay.
So, I'm just reading through the next set of questions. We've talked about orientation for Year 7 and kindergarten. Do the current enrolments for 2022 have guaranteed spots?
Yes, they do.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep,
there you go. Sorry, the page is jumping. Whoa. Oh, for the uniform fittings, they're both for primary and secondary students,
Correct.
but they'll all be at the one location,
Correct.
which will be at
the high school.
At the high school. So if you are a primary parent wanting to try on uniforms for your primary student, you will need to go to the high school for those afternoons or the Saturday. We've spoken about the new demountable at the primary campus and changing times. We'll also be changing our bell times, so we'll have the playground to ourselves. We won't be joining OLA because we've just got a few too many students on the playground at once. There will be a preschool at the new building, and that will be open for 2022.
Correct. And enrollments, the enrollment process, once we get our calc director, she will then facilitate the enrollment process.
Yes, we'll be running an information session for the parents regarding enrolment. We've spoken about timing at the new site. I'm suspecting I'm getting a lot of these questions on things we've covered potentially because we've dropped in and out.
Okay.
But we haven't confirmed time, start and finish at the new site, but we're hoping it will be similar to what we have now. End of year presentation ceremonies, we cannot confirm whether they're going ahead or not. We need to wait for the CEDP regulations in terms of
what we can say is that the students will still be presented with their awards at school. Whether the parents are allowed to come and witness that and be part of it is undecided at this moment. But we still will have awards because the kids deserve the awards. So whether or not we open it to the public and to the parent community, that's to be decided.
I assume camp isn't going ahead?
No. So with camp, Year 7s will join next year's Year 7s for camp. So rather than refund the parents their camp money, we'll give the students a camp experience in Year 8, the current Year 7s in Year 8, and they'll join the next year's Year 7s on the same day.
In terms of uniform requirements, I know that kindergarten are only required to wear the sports uniform. Year 1 do have a formal summer and winter uniform.
Correct.
And then there's a difference between the two high school uniforms as well. All of that information can be found online.
Correct.
Around which uniform you need to order for which grade your child's in.
Correct.
Laptop requirements for Year 7?
Yep, so again that will be part of the orientation, the webinar that we're going to run, but just so that you can get an early start, it will be a MacBook Air. That's the laptop required.
Uniform wear. Yes, there will be before and after school care at the new site. That's
yep, it'll
definitely
start at 6 a.m. and finish at 7 p.m.
I think I've got through all the questions again. It's hard to keep up, they keep scrolling through it.
I do apologise for the disruption in coverage. Unfortunately we can't do much about the internet sometimes, but thank you for hanging in there and staying with the coverage.
I've got a question here from Melinda about the open days that we're planning to go ahead in October.
Yep. That's the orientation days.
Oh, right, okay. So depending on restrictions will depend on how we run them, whether they're face-to-face or online. Oh, we're frozen again. An email will go out next week regarding uniform fittings and how to book. From Tanya. I don't think they can hear us. Can you just give us a thumbs up or a message if you can hear us? Because some people are saying they can't. Oh gosh, you've got to love technology, don't you?
You'll catch up.
All okay. Okay, we will go ahead. In terms of presentations, if it is just the students and parents can't come in person, will we be live streaming that?
I'm pretty sure we will. Well, Jelena, we've got Jelena, who's our tech expert. Yes, we would include you in a virtual sense, parents. I know that you want to witness the big occasion, and yes.
Yeah, we've spoken about the potential staggered times for when we move to Box Hill. Obviously, that's not confirmed yet.
Correct.
But because there are 2,000 students moving through the school and wanting to share different facilities, we will have to stagger their start times and their break times so that they all have access to the playground facilities at different times of the day. Again, to be confirmed.
Yep.
Once we move on the site,
Correct.
you'll know. Up